Yes, welcome back once again, traders. This is Skills FX, and welcome back to Trade Like Skills channel, guys. So today I want to show you the weekly recap of the gold market from 27th January 2025 to 31st January 2025. So if you want to join us, of course, we give signals and more guidance on trading. And also, if you want to join our mentorship, the link or the Telegram link is in bio, or you can check down into the description, and then you can join the community, guys. So without wasting more time, let's look at the market, how we started from 27th January up to 31st January, and we see what happened in the market. So as we can look well on the market, this is a 15 minutes chart, gold time frame. So when the market opened here in the morning, I think you can see where the market opened from. The market, of course, was trading in the downtrend, dropping down, and we could see that the market was creating BOSs, or break of structure, dropping down. So here is a gap, of course. So the market was breaking to the lower zones, as you can see, creating BOSs, same as here. Still the market was still dropping, going lower lows, dropping lows, and then the market retested to this zone because there was a gap, and then there was another block, and then the market dropped. So the market left imbalance behind, and again the market continued to do what? To drop. This was still on 27th January, and this was what was happening on that day. So as we can see well, that the market was continuing to show that it was in a downtrend, but this was a cool retest because the gold market has been in an uptrend overall since some time back. So the market has been in an uptrend. I think you can see BOSs to the higher highs, and I think that the market has been just coming back to collect liquidity and fill the imbalances so that it could tap in the order blocks, guys. So you can see well that the market was dropping and going back. It was a retesting and going back. So we saw some bigger change when the market showed us that it is dropping for good, but it wasn't dropping for good because it was still in an uptrend in a higher time frame, like 4 hours time frame and daily time frame. So as you can see well, when the market dropped here, again here was another BOS, and the market retested back. And now I want you to look at this. The market has left imbalance back here, or what we call fair value gap. In this zone we had fair value gap, and then we had another block that was left behind, and then we had liquidity. So the market was just turning back to fill the imbalances and to sweep the liquidity. So the market had to respect this zone, and again market had to do what? Had to drop. Since the market has been in a downtrend, of course it had to create another BOS to lower lows. So that means that here was a sell trade on 15 minutes chart. On that day, here was a selling trade, or a short entry on a 15 minutes chart, and that was still on 27th January. So I think you can see what happened on 27th January. The market had to drop for good, and it was dropping to the lower lows, to break the lower lows, since the market had been in a downtrend. So we can look at how many pips we had on that day if the market had to drop, because I think we took this trade in my channel, and we were risking something like 10 pips to make, let me see, the lower low height was 10 pips to make it. It targeted mainly 230 pips. So I think you can see all this move, we're risking at least 10 pips to make 230 pips. So look at this move. All this move from here to down here, it was a really, really, really big move. So we're still on that day, and then the market moved still and tapped into some other block that was there, but here it did not mark it. That means that it tapped into the, okay, it tapped into this lower order block and we had imbalance, so the market was just coming for this one to fill it and then continue its main direction. So I think you can see what happened in this zone. When the market tapped into that order block, the market retested back. And I want you to look at this. Here was a BOS, and a BOS break of structure or the lower low. The market was breaking to lower zones or to lower side. Okay, let me put this here, BOS. And again, when the market dropped down, after tapping into the recent or old order block, the market retested back. That means that these sellers wanted to push back the market to come and break the lower lows, but they failed. And then they broke this internal high, hence created this internal change of character. And again, left what we call a demand candle. And then the market moved, continued to break with BOSs and swept liquidity from this zone. And now, market tried to come back to this zone for a retest or to continue low lows because it was already in another block here. But the market did what? Failed to come. Instead, it created much liquidity in that zone. Much liquidity, as you can see. Much liquidity that was left here. Market retested back, failed to break highs, and again broke this internal low, this one. And again, after market broke this internal low, of course, it was showing that it's breaking to the lower side. Hence, the market retested, and we were waiting for our zone to be retested. So, when the market moved back, of course, it left more liquidity behind. So, the market had to come back down and then had to tap into the what? The demand candle. And then the market broke the highs, creating a BOS or a bigger change of character. And the market is going highs because it has always been in what? In an uptrend. So as we can see, well, we had started another new day now. We were on 28th. On 28th, this is what happened. On 28th, the market continued higher highs, continuing to the higher zones. And as we can see, well, the market left more liquidity behind, and the market created BOS again, and the market was showing us, or still showing us, that the market is still continuing to the higher highs. Now, what happened? When the market came back, it was coming for liquidity. So here we had a zone with imbalance. We had a zone which was strong. After this break of structure, the market also wanted to push down. For these sellers wanted to enter, but they failed. So this is a good zone for entry, and it was a strong zone for entry. It had everything that we needed, and it was showing us the direction where the market is doing what? Is going soon. So we had to mark that zone. And now I want you to look at this. When the market came and broke all these lower lows, all the internal lows, because our last low was here and our last high was here. So everything that was happening here inside was internal. So I think you can see when the market went on breaking lower lows, it just retested to sweep this liquidity that was here. Let me mark it, liquidity. All this was liquidity that was being left here in these zones. This was a buy side liquidity that was being left in those zones. And then what happened? Look at this. The market tapped into this zone. Why? Because this zone was more packed with many order blocks, and that means that sellers and buyers were failing to negotiate. But since the buyers had dominated the market, were taking it higher highs and they were pushing it highs. So these zones were too strong for the market to make some significant respect or some reaction. So when the market reached in these zones, I think you can see what happened. The market tried to push high, and when the market pushed high, we knew well that we were taking this liquidity, and then we took all the liquidity that was left here, and then we had to drop. I think you can see this. And when the market reached in this zone, again the market reacted because the zone was still strong. But it swept some liquidity, tried to push high and failed, and again got broken. So after breaking, of course, the market was leaving liquidity because more sellers were entering and more buyers were entering. So they were thinking that maybe this market is going to give us something that is strong, that is going to do what? Something that is going to move the market, either dropping, because many people are still thinking that the market is in a downtrend, has changed everything. Now we are going down. We're just retesting to drop. So more sellers entered and left what? And left their stop losses here. And more buyers entered because they were thinking this zone is strong and is going to push the market high. So this is why for us we had to wait for this zone. We waited for this zone for a long time, and then after, in the evening, I think that's when the market dropped down up to this zone. And I think you see how the market respected the zone and had a great move because it had left a lot of liquidity that was left here. And also this liquidity, lower liquidity or sell-side liquidity, was swept away and taken. So I think you can see what happened. The market had to fly for good. And then we left some order block here that wasn't mitigated. The reason as to why this order block wasn't mitigated was because market had already swept this liquidity. It came and took all this liquidity, and I think this zone, I think you can see this zone was still strong, but after market took the liquidity with this week, let me mark this zone. Let me mark this zone as a liquidity sweep. So let me mark this zone. So now I think you can see this is a liquidity sweep. Market swept liquidity from this zone, and again market continued high, leaving this imbalance and this zone unmitigated. But because the market took the liquidity, it had to continue and then created a BOS, breaking the last high and confirming that we are now in a good uptrend. So I gave this out. I remember well, I gave this out, this zone out to my students or to my VIP. Let me show you. Even in this free channel, I think I gave the results of that zone, because what happened in that zone. Okay, let me try to scroll. Oh, it's here. This zone, I think you see, this was before, and then this is after. Market moved from that zone and pushed high for good. Yes, market moved high for good and continued high. This was 45 minutes chart. Yeah, that's why you can see it's kind of looking like a weak swept the liquidity. So for those who understand it, of course understand it. If you want to get to this channel, just tap into our YouTube channel, channel. Get to wait a minute. Let me tap here and I show you what you have to do. Okay, let me show you this, where you can get our link from so that you can join. So this is the link here. You can tap on the link and then join our Telegram channel. You can be seeing all these things. So you will learn more when you join us, guys. So as we continue, we had started already another day from here, 29th January, because 28th had moved from here up to this side. With 28th, it started from these zones, and then moved, and then all this was 28th. So on 29th, of course, this was the entry on 29th. On 29th, entry was good, and let me see how many pips this zone gave, because if you are entering this zone, you have to be targeting the recent high. So we had to do this. Let me show you. This is long. Come on. Pull down this. So this one had mainly 200 pips. We're making 200 pips. If someone took this entry, we're making 200 pips, risking 20 pips for 200 pips. So the market moved high, continued to move high, of course, lift more liquidity, but the market was still showing that it is continuing to high. Of course, this was 30th. 30th had started from here, and the market only continued to move higher highs. By the way, 30th started from here. Because this was an entry on 28th, and someone who held was still in the entry up to this. So 30th, of course, someone was thinking, I also thought that the market would come here to retest into this buy zone because we had everything that was needed in the zone, but still the market only swept the liquidity and continued high. So more trades were only focused on buying, but there were smaller selling entries that would be scalping and whatsoever. But longer trades were mostly focused on buy. So I think you can see how the market continued highs and didn't come back to these zones to do what? To retest. But hopefully, maybe for the start of Monday, the market might come and retest to this zone and then continue higher highs if it does. Because here we see something like a change of character and we're having imbalance also. Market might reach here and then drop for good. So let's wait. Let me know what you're thinking about these entries, guys. And you can comment and tell me which other videos you want me to talk about. Or if you want to join my Telegram channel, of course, I told you, you can check the link here in the bio and also in the description. I'll be adding in the description when I upload this video. So I know you guys who are going to enjoy this. So join us, guys. Join our team. We know how to teach, guys. I can mentor you and give you the best strategy that will be working for you daily, and you make daily money, daily profits on a smaller or lower time frame that is giving you something that is long, because we catch daily bigger moves. Okay, thank you, guys. Ciao. Let me see you in another video, guys.